I'm going to show you how to make a hard-hitting snare. You can use it for dubstep or drum and bass or whatever you want, like I have in this loop right here that I made. So here's the snare, just soloed, so you can hear it. So, if you like the way that sounds, you can continue to watch. If you don't, you can look elsewhere. But there is one tutorial that I'm going to point to. I posted this guy's stuff on my Facebook page before, and he does a really good job. He uses a bunch of compressors, and it's a really long process, but I think it's worth it. I borrowed a couple things from him, but overall, I use compressors and plugins a lot differently. But anyway, okay, so the first thing you want to do is find a snare with some good low end to it. The frequencies that are super important to making a hard-hitting snare are between like as low as 180 or so up to like 250. Those are going to be the, you know, punch you in the chest frequencies. So this is the sample that I found to use with nothing on it, and this is a really good, I usually don't use this EQ, but it's really good to demonstrate what I'm talking about as far as frequencies go. It's a FabFilter Pro Q, and you can put an analyzer on it, and it shows you exactly like where it's hitting. So you see it's hitting right here around like 200. So I put that up, and I cut the low end off of, or cut the high end off of this one, because all I want this snare to do is to be the punch in the snare and to give it some balls. So simple as that. The hardest part about this is just going to be finding your own snare, you know, looking through your samples and finding one that hits right around there, nice and hard. Then the second part is the high end. Here's the sample that I found. Sounds like a pretty basic, like 808 or 909 snare. And basically I just left that as it is. So, you know, when you put these two together, here's what you get. The third part, right here, I just duplicated this snare. And so this is the same exact sample, just duplicated. And I cut off the bottom to it and gave it a little more highs, and then put a compressor on it, just not to do anything to the attack, but just to, you know, bring up the highs and make it a little bit louder. So altogether, for these first three, here's what you have. But if you notice when you listen to you know, drum and bass or dubstep, the snares are really quick. They don't have a long tail to them. So you need to adjust, you know, how long your samples are by doing this, and then go in there and adjust the fades. I already put the fades on these. I'll let you just take a look. So yeah, nice and short, so it doesn't hang around for too long. This one especially, since it's lower. Yeah, that's about right. So then what you have now is it's a nice quick hit. The next part is you're going to want to group these. So I already have it in a group here, but you know, if you're using Ableton, you just do that, right click. Well, they're already in group, but you just right click, highlight all these, right click them, and then group them together. So here's your group. Like I used in my other tutorial with the kick, I love this plugin. It's the Oxford Trans mod, and it really gets the transients hitting hard in the snares and, you know, whatever you're doing. So here's how it sounds like without it. And you put it on. and just adjust the ratio over here and the overshoot. That's all I did. Then some compression on it. You can just take a look at the settings. And then adding some EQ all together. The compression is kind of gluing all these samples together, and then the EQ is just adding even more body to that snare around that hard hitting range. Like I said, this is at like 160 over here. That's what worked for when I was setting it. So listen to how much this EQ adds to it. Really gives it that thunk. So that's part one. So what you want to do after that is you have your stuff, and then just make an audio track. I'll just do it for you. And do this. Just an audio track, and then have it from, let's see, we're going to route part one to this, and we just want to record that. So you just do that, hit record, bam. But I already did this in here. So bam, delete that. So here we go. You want to make 2 more of that. So you have it, and then you duplicate it again. This is just the same sample. Once again, I'm going to put the transient plugin on it right here. You can look how that's set for this one. And then I'm going to use this sonic maximizer as well. I actually I have the sonic maximizer, the hardware thing. I used to use it when I was playing guitar in my my metal band. So yeah, that adds some nice low end on this second one, which is again just the same exact sample. Some more transient, and then take out the bottom end. We're going to add some more highs into it again. So that's what it sounds like alone. Here's both of them together. Nothing in the group here. And so then that's basically it. And what you do is I've bounced it out, the same process that I used before, into your final product, which is right here. And that's pretty much it. The last thing to do to get like that Skrillexy dubstep snare is to put some reverb on it. I mean, you don't have to, but in the little loop, I think it sounds good. You put some reverb. Here's how it sounds again with the reverb on it. So I'll show you the setup I've got going on here. Oh, and by the way, when you're putting reverb on stuff, you should never put the reverb plugin directly onto the track. You should always use, in Pro Tools it's called an aux track, and here, what do they call them, return tracks? Because that reverb is going to kill your dry signal. So you make a return track, and you put the reverb on here, and then you send it through this right here, so you can. And what that does is it just sends the signal to the reverb, and then I'm using the Waves Reverb. This channel's 100% wet. God, there's the random sexual innuendo. So here's how it just sounds like without the snare. And then what's it's important to get this like dubstep-y snare. Let's see. Play an example. The Skrillex snare. So you see, it almost sounds like a cymbal hitting. That might be what he's doing, but you can recreate it with reverb as well. But he's got, you know, like a high pass filter on the reverb if he's using reverb, and then I just put a compressor on it to bring it up. So yeah, that's about it. Once you get done with it, put it in your song. Poop. So that's it. I hope it helps. As always, you can follow me on Facebook or SoundCloud or Twitter. It's actually really fun with fans, or, you know, following that I have now, to, you know, be able to post stuff on Facebook about building snares, and other people get like 12 comments that have the same frustration or whatever. So I've actually learned some things from you guys as well. So come join the fun on my Facebook page, or hit me up on Twitter if you like really sarcastic comments about everything. But anyway, that's it. See ya.